Hey everyone, Sean here, and today I wanted to share my thoughts about Genshin's upcoming 2.4 update. This has been met already with positive reactions for the most part. Everyone's been exploding with excitement and enthusiasm, excitement, hype, whatever how you want to refer to, so on and so forth. And for the most part, I can pretty much agree with that majority. There's just quite a lot coming for this update. I don't know if they're gonna drop it all at once, but I'm pretty sure it'll all come out at some point. So, well, it doesn't change the fact of the quality of these things that are coming for 2.4. First off, we're getting the new characters featuring Xinghe excuse me, and of course Yunjin. Yunjin is probably someone most obtainable for me because she's going to be part of the free 4-star character pick event, essentially. So you can pick her, the brand new character, or you can work on the other 4-star characters you already have in your arsenal. You can raise your constellations. Of course, this is the Liwei 4-star characters. So you can work on their constellations, or you can grab the new character Yunjin, which I'm pretty much going to be doing. That way I don't have to worry about pulling on the new banners that are featuring Xiao and Xinghe. Xinghe is supposed to be the cryo support character who really buffs up the other cryo characters. So essentially it's in principle the same as Goro, but I think she will also work with other characters in general of different elements in general just fine. But for the most part, she is going to be emphasizing cryo damage in support, so she'll definitely really work for Ganyu, of course, but not only that, but someone for like Eula, because she also decreases physical damage on enemies, so or decreases damage physical damage resistance, excuse me. So that means it'll be a lot better for Eula to go in on. So if you really want to complement your cryo DPSs, then definitely yes, Xinghe is someone who you want in your belt or your arsenal. Otherwise, Xiao is going to be the other character for the banner. I think this is going to be a double banner special once again, and the same thing will happen with Zhongli and Ganyu for sure. This is going to be for sure the double banner special with these two characters, and that is really tempting for me because my primal gems are pretty low right now because I didn't go all out for Arataki Ito and Goro, which I did get C1 Goro, but also I got Ito most importantly, and I got the weapon from that weapon banner with the red horn, I think it's called, red horn stone thresher. So I'm pretty happy with that overall. But man, oh man, like the the amount of stuff we're getting just from the banner alone is just insane. But unfortunately, I'm going to be skipping out on all that, and I'm going to be patiently waiting for Yae Miko. I really do want her more still than the other characters for now. And so I'd rather get the new character than some of these characters. And of course it's Xinghe. But again, thankfully I don't have to pull for that banner because the free 4-star character event will include Yunjin. So I'm just going to grab Yunjin from there. So I'm not going to be completely left out for Yunjin unless her constellations are super good. I don't know. We'll see about that. I mean, otherwise, I could think of it as just me working on pity at that point, I guess. But, oof, man, there's a lot of good stuff coming just from the banners alone, for sure, for sure. Zhongli is like literally one of the best supports, if not the best support, along with Bennett, right? So you definitely would want him if you don't have him already. He's just so good. His shield, even as C0, is so good. I've had him built ever since I got him, and he's literally been the pillar of each of my teams. And so if I wanted to just really change it up just for the fun of it on the field, then yeah, dude, like Zhongli is absolutely, very, really important for the Abyss. You know what I mean? So he's just super good just from the shield alone, and then being able to petrify foes with the meteor, right? The giant meteor is really good too, especially if you can get that up constantly, which I do with the Favonius spear. that I have on Zhongli instead, so that way his meter can just come down constantly. So right after cooldown, it's just gonna come up and then boom, you know. So and obviously Ganyu, I do have her as well, and it's very tempting to get her C1, but all in all, she's really good still. I just have to switch around the artifacts a little bit. I've had her for support for so long, and I just felt like I kind of wasted her potential for this all this time, because she really is main DPS material, man. Like I've just been holding her back ever since. At just as a cryo support damage, her ult just comes out constantly because of the Favonius bow. So she's good there regardless, because her ult or burst, excuse me, just comes out and stays there for a long time. So, um, yeah, I really need to start changing the artifacts. I'm gonna go with the Wanderer's trope, I think it's called. It's the one that charges up her charge attacks by a big percentage in the 4-piece set. So I definitely think that's the best one for her there. So I'm going to try to do that over time. This game just takes time to grind up everyone's materials and get everyone good as much as you want them to be. But anyway, let's skip on over to the other side of things. Of course, there's a new weapon banner coming along. And this is definitely something for Shenghe. Shenghe's weapon is definitely the Calamity Queller, it looks like. So I'm definitely gonna skip on that since I'm already skipping on Shenghe, so it's definitely no point. But then of course there's the outfits for Ningguang and freaking Keqing, dude. Keqing looks really good, really cute in that outfit. They're both blue, which is kind of funny, but Ningguang is definitely obtainable, so I'll definitely go for Ningguang for sure. I don't really play Keqing. I do have her, but I don't really play her. I haven't built her or anything like that. She's just holding my artifacts right now for other characters. So since there's no artifact presets, but gosh, I wish that was coming for 2.4, but maybe for 2.5. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, the new outfits look great for the most part. I think that's I think that's definitely something everyone can agree on. It looks pretty cute. Well, Ningguang looks hot. Keqing looks really adorable and cute with the blue outfit. Now, along with that, we'll get some primo gems along the way from all the new stuff that's within it, all the new events and mini events, mini game events, blah blah blah. Either way, we're gonna get a lot of primo gems as well, of course, so that will help me build up for Yae Miko's banner. So it makes me wonder if Yae Miko will have also some sort of like double banner special. I wonder who that would be. Would that be a character from Inazuma, or just another character from like Mondstadt or something, just a rerun of a Mondstadt character, or just a Leeway character? I don't know. But if that's true, then I mean they could do a Kazuha rerun for sure, because I think he was the first 5-star character from Inazuma to be in the banner. It's been a while, so my little memory on that is a little rough or rusty. So you're gonna have to correct me on that part. Of course, along the way we had some new enemies show up. There was like that water lizard looking thing. There's a Leviathan looking guy that was super cool looking, and hopefully that's a permanent weekly boss or whatever. If that was just a limited time boss, that'd be a damn shame, really. There's the pyro based what is it, the abyss mage or whatever you want to call them, the big tall mage guys that have each element. Right now we only have water and lightning or electro and cryo, I think. So now we get to see pyro finally, which is kind of neat. And then there's a new story, of course, which I more or less care not as much, but there's some cool little scenes. The traveler getting slammed to the wall, so that was kind of neat. I'm like, ooh, things are getting a little spicy, right, for the story. And there's a jade chamber, blah blah blah. You kind of hear that name a lot throughout the presentation. And speaking of the presentation, I did notice that they kind of did away with the English voice actors, and they kind of just had the devs the dev team do it for themselves. Really, I think for the most part that could be the new direction, and I think it's for the best. I think it's the best of both worlds. I guess it just kind of meets the nice middle ground because it just goes straight into what we want to see, and we get to see the devs, the people who are behind the game, rather than just the voice actors. No offense or any ill feelings towards them. I think they did a good job, presenting the stuff back when. Uh, it was just a direction that kind of was unnecessary, like the whole laughing thing that they had to do, and like all the enthusiasm they had to kind of force themselves into. That was really awkward, admittedly, to see. But that doesn't mean you should kind of throw your comments at the voice actors, right? That whole drama was stupid in my opinion. That was kind of ridiculous. But you know what? I mean, people are people. That's something like that's bound to happen, unfortunately. But yeah, that was definitely terrible. So anyway, the presentation itself looked just great. I mean, it did the job. We got to know what was what, and not only that, we got a lot of updates too. It was quite something. So that's why it was kind of like a cherry on top for 2.4's presentation. I think that's why people are so excited about it too. So yeah, other than some other events like the Wind Trace, I think that was the hide and seek game that's coming back, and then there's the picture taking event with the companion, which means more primo gems, and then all the stuff in the events in Leeway. They'll lead to all the stuff that we talked about early on, like the 4-star pick your character type of event and blah blah blah. So it was nice to see all the characters kind of featuring in the sort of trailer they had for 2.4 or summary trailer. That was just really cool to see all the Leeway characters kind of come back in a way. We've seen a lot of Inazuma, right? So it's kind of nice, refreshing to see the Leeway characters kind of make their return in a way. And I'm kind of excited for the story once again because it's gonna feature Shinga. So Shinga is definitely gonna be just a cool-looking character. Not pun intended, but I would really like to see what her story is all about or how she plays a role in the whole Jade Chamber thing. But yeah, the back on to Yoon Jin. From what I can understand, she has two voice actresses technically because she has the speaking voice and then she has a singing voice. And they actually really, really went traditional on that part with the singing because they actually had an actual like Chinese opera singer, so that's why for some people who are not Chinese, it may sound pretty strange, but that's just how Chinese opera kind of sounds from what I've gathered, I believe. It's kind of like how there's Japanese with their kabuki and the theater stuff that they do. They have their own unique set of sounds. That's just kind of how what culture is for each. So glad to see that most people were respectful about it. There were some people who were like, "Oh, my ears," but I kind of don't blame them for it. There were only some people that were kind of showing some sign of sort of disrespect or something like that to that degree, but it wasn't too bad. So it was a lot better than I expected, I guess. But either way, that's supposed to be what Yunjin is. She's supposed to be sort of that theatrical sort of character because she runs a theater, so she is very dramatic in that sort of sense. So it makes sense. But I thought the whole Chinese opera thing was a unique touch to it. It's neat. It's interesting for someone like Yoon Jin. So it's all the more little of these nuances, or big nuance, I guess, in this case, that make these characters pretty interesting. That's why I do like Genshin Impact for, well, the characters. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I can say. I summed up pretty much everything, and my excitement for them is, kind of like the same along with all the other people, or most of the people so far anyway, and the other content creators and such. I do like what I'm seeing for the most part, and it does make me excited for not only for 2.4, but what's coming up for 2.5 as well. I mean, hopefully that would be also a great event, or great version, I guess you can say, or event. with Yai Miko and stuff like that. And I think that could be the last sort of hurrah for Inazuma, potentially, right? Because what else is there? And speaking of which, I almost forgot. How can I forget this? Enkanomiya. It's that's literally the new island or whatever. So it's like, um, well, potentially it could be the gateway for um, the new region, I guess, right? So, just the way that they described it, it was like kind of void or something like that. It's interesting of how they described it, but either way, that's kind of like how I feel about it. I'm pretty excited myself, and I definitely cannot wait. I think this is all going to be starting in January, early January. I think January 5th, which is like right after my birthday. So, pretty neat. So anyway, that's really all I gotta say basically. So if you are excited for 2.4, leave those comments in the comment section below. And there were also some game updates, but I'm not gonna go over those too much. So, but those are also coming too. Anyways, leave any the related comments down below about Genshin Impact, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps out, and I do appreciate it, guys. So this has been my sort of opinion or thoughts about 2.4 for Genshin Impact. I definitely cannot wait. It's definitely looking really strong for the start of 2022 regarding to Genshin Impact. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.